Hi guys, today I'll be doing Destiny 2 Forsaken. It's a real fun one. There's Destiny 1, if you've ever played that, it's like that with a whole lot of upgrades. If you've never played it, it's basically a first-person shooter, but it was one of the very first first-person shooters that actually had a loot system, so that's really cool. It had a level up system, so if you like RPGs and you like shooting, it's the game for you. I'm the type of person that I don't like competitive first-person shooting, so like Call of Duty and all of that stuff, if it doesn't have a single-player mode, I care less for it. So it's basically like Overwatch. I know that's not it's kind of the same thing. It didn't have a story, so I just didn't like it. I don't like playing co-op. I don't like playing against people. I love co-op though, so this is a fun way to do co-op, and you can still play first-person shooters, and if you're not as good as everyone else, you can level up, get items, and play with everyone else. So it's really cool for everyone. So even if you don't like first-person shooters, I would say just pick this up and try it. You'll like it, and even if you don't like it and you're having a hard time with it, people will help you. People are always around, and they have systems where you can pair up with people. So it's really a fun time. I've never had a bad time as far as the community. It's a great community. The pros of the game is that they do keep new content. There's always new content. Almost every half a year they come out with a big release. One of the cons though is the fact that they always come out with new content almost half a year, and it almost seems gimmicky. It's almost as if they come out with a full game and then they say, okay, 20% of the game you're going to get the first year, 20% of the game you're going to get the next year, 20%, but you're going to have to pay for it every time. But they do have season passes, so they try to gimmick you with all of that stuff. I think Bungie finally broke off, was it Activision? And now they can set their own rules, so hopefully in the future a lot of that stuff is going to go back to just being a great game that you could just buy at full content, but you never know. Another one of the pros is that multiple classes. There's always 3 now. If you get Forsaken, there's 3. I don't even know what you'd call them. There's 3 classes, and then each of those class has 3 different types, and then each of those types have 3 different modes. I don't really know what they're called. So you have Warlock, Titan, and Hunter, and with each of those you have Arc, Fire, and Ice. And each of those you might have, okay, well with Ice you're going to be doing these set of skills, these set of skills, or these set of skills. So there's a whole lot of different, when you're looking at it up front at the main menu character select, you're just like, oh, only 3 things to select from, but there really are tons and tons of classes and items and you can make whatever you want, and even though they're all kind of the same, you can make them vastly different than everyone else you're playing with, which is cool because you know enough to play with them and know what their abilities are, but you can have your own special thing that other people don't have. And there's tons of hours of content for the game. I know I said Forsaken for Destiny 2, but even if you just get Destiny 2, there are going to be hundreds of hours to play, so there's never content. I mean, obviously there's a point when you beat everything, there's nothing more to do, but with the Forsaken they've also added achievements basically, so there really are countless hundreds and thousands of hours if you're trying to get all the achievements, trying to get the raid achievements, trying to get the exploration achievements. So there really are hundreds of things to do. If you want to just breeze through the story, it still takes quite some time. I don't know if that's a pro or a con depending on who you are. Even if you have someone rushing you through the story, it's probably going to take a day or two to get through just the storyline without the side quests or doing events. and so that's it's actually good. It means you're getting your money's worth, so that's really good. Um, it's a great story. There's some people that would say that it's just basic story, but just the way they do it and the acting and the voice character actors they picked, it's really encapsulating and makes you feel like you are the character. So when one of the characters are like, "Hey, is that you?" And you're like, "Well, wow, that yeah, he is talking to me." They make you feel like you are a part of the story. It's really cool. And another pro is the farming. It's I've played some games where it's just a grind, and I mean, yes, it does feel like a grind, and especially once you hit max level and you're trying to get past the soft cap, it is a grind. But they make it so where it feels like you're not purposely going into an event. You're almost in the world, and then it just happens, and it just flows, and you just see people fighting a monster, so you're like, hey, let me fight that monster, and then you enter the event, and you fight. So it doesn't feel like you're specifically farming for anything. You could just be exploring the world and getting all this upgrades and stuff. It's really fun. And then as far as the cons go, it's hard to just pause. So if you do have kids and whatnot, if you since it is constantly on the server and updating, and there's other people always with you, you can't just pause because the game keeps going. And at first I thought that was a con, that people were always around. I didn't like the idea of people seeing how bad I was and how horrible I was. But once I got confident that I was good, and it's one of those, when you're good, you love helping other people because you see those people saying, I remember when I had no idea what to do, let me help them. And then in the other turn, if you're bad, you have people that just randomly come up to you for no reason and just start helping you. So it's cool once you get the hang of the community and just everyone helping everybody. It's fun. But with the con, there's one quest that has you following music. I always hate games that aren't aware of deaf people. I never play with my sound on, so there's one quest in particular that's just like, well, I'm not going to show you where it is on the map, just keep running until you hear the music. The music gets louder and louder, and when you hear the music, you're where you... It took me like an hour to complete that because I didn't feel like turning the volume on. So it's not that big of a deal because it's only one quest through the game, and you can easily ignore it, but it's just one thing that I didn't see a point to it. And another con is that there's only 3 character slots, and like I said, even though there's 3 races or 3 classes, there's also 3 races. So you can pick 3 races for your 3 classes that have the 3, I don't know what you call them, elemental type, that have the 3 sub-elemental type abilities. So I would say at least 9 character slots would be cool, because then you can have a race for every class. But the way they have it now is you have to pick which class you want with what race if you want all 3 races and all 3 classes, and you can't double up on a race or whatnot. That might just be preferential. Probably doesn't bother that many people at all, but yeah, I found it annoying. And another con, it's not too bad because, like I said, everyone can help each other out, but one con is it's kind of hard to play with friends unless if you're on the same exact light level. So like if they're doing raids, if you only hit the soft cap and they're 100 to 150 points above that, you're just like, yeah, it's gonna take me weeks to get back up to you, so I can't do the raids with you guys unless if you really want the raid to be harder. If you're doing just strikes, is what they call it, which is like a dungeon, not a raid. The strikes, people can pretty much carry you, and it's no big deal. So that's not bad. But if you wanted to do the end game content, you can't just jump in with your friends unless if you've been playing with them to make that grind. Also, the last con I would say is if you haven't played in a while. I got Destiny 2. I bought Destiny 2. I played the crap out of it and beaten it and got everything, and I didn't have enough money for Forsaken, so I just got Forsaken like 3 weeks ago, and it is a lot of content just thrown in your face if you haven't played for a while. When I was introduced to Destiny 1, it was when all the expansions came out, and it was like 2 or 3 months before Destiny 2 came out, and I would say that's perfect. Jump in, get all the content. That way there's not this weird stutter in, wait, what just happened? I gotta catch up with the story again, and oh my goodness, there's all these side quests to do. So it's, I guess either way can be intimidating, because if you unlock everything without playing the game at first, it's tons of content, which is a pro as well, because there's tons of content to keep you playing forever. But that's it for my review. I would say this is a great game. As far as season passes, I still haven't found out whether it's better just to buy the season pass, suck it up, and save some money, or just wait until the Ultimate Collection Edition comes out with everything. If you love playing with everybody, I would say it's well worth getting the season pass, and if you have friends to play with, I would say it's well worth getting season pass. But if you've never played the game and you don't really have anybody that could play, I would say hold off until they come out with a definitive every expansion pack edition. But with that being said, I would highly advise play this game, and thank you guys for stopping by, and hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you.